Hey guys, welcome to this Linux course. So we've seen echo and other basic Linux commands in the previous sessions. Now we are going to see set and unset. So set again is a command, but there are various types of doing it. There are various commands to set a variable, and there is this unset command. So if you have set already a variable as a global variable or a local variable, you can use the unset command to remove that. So now let's get started. First we'll learn what is set and unset. So first, the set command is a built-in function in bash and few other cells which you can use to define the values of system variables. Set is not required to set a variable. There are various ways to do it. So as I told you, set is the command. So in the backend, that is the command which will run. So I did x is equal to a number in the last session for doing an echo of it. So when I did that, it automatically took it as a variable. So that particular operation is a set operation. Set need not to be a command to be used, but that is the operation which happens whenever you are trying to give a variable a value. So you can use the command export to create environment variables. So while you create environment variables, you are using the command export. Basically, again, that is a set operation. Export is another command to set environment variables. Even though setting environment variables and variables are similar, the only difference is environment variables are for the complete system. Globally, it is available, but normally setting a variable like x is equal to 23 are locally available. They are local variables. And finally, the unset command. The unset command is a built-in function in bash which you can use to remove a variable which is set. So if you have already set a variable using export, then you can use the unset command to remove them. So going ahead, we'll see some options. The first option is -b, notify of job termination immediately. Second one is -e, exit immediately if a command exits with a non-zero status. Then third one is job control will be enabled. And fourth option is pretty good. So all export, these are basically other options. You can see these options over here. You can use the set command to turn off or on particular functions. So all export in the sense, if you have not enabled this, then you cannot use the export command. If you have enabled this, then you can use the export command. So we'll see some examples first. So you can see hello one, echo hello. This is what we did in the last session. So this is done. This is for local variable, and this again the same thing. This is a global variable, and yeah, echo $hello one, echo $x, unset hello, echo $hello $x. It's only printing the value of x, not hello, because we removed that variable. And then again here, hello one, export hello. We have made hello into a global variable. So echo hello, it's showing. Again, we are entering another bash, and under the bash we are trying to do that, but again we are getting the value. But in this particular example, you can see we entered another shell, but under that shell you cannot see the value of hello because it's a local variable. When you use export, it becomes a global variable. So now this is one way of making a variable global, and there is another way which is export x is equal to 2. Instead of providing hello equal to 1 then export hello, you can just put export hello equal to 1. So that will be more than enough. And then you can see this set plus o. This is where set command comes in. So you can basically stop or start particular operations in your system. So if you have installed, so there is a particular text editor called Emacs. It might not be installed in default. You can install it later. So even though if you have installed it, you can basically use it. If it is -o, that means you cannot launch Emacs. If it is +o, then you can launch Emacs. So you can use the set command to stop and start particular operations. So that's one of the useful examples. So you can see to do that, set -o all export. If I do a set +o, it shows all the set operations over here, and you can see that it shows all export has become -o. That means I cannot use export. And here it's +o. Okay, so we've seen that. Now let's go and do the same commands in the operating system. So if we open it, I've entered the wrong password. Now I've entered it right. Okay, so right now guys, let's do some operations. So we did this hello, so let me use x itself. So x equal to 45. So let me echo this. So it's showing the value. Now if you enter bash, because as I told you in CentOS the default shell is bash, and if I use bash, so now I'm inside another shell. So you can see that if I do an ls, it's showing the content, but if I do an echo, it does not show the value. So basically this particular shell does not have the value for x. So here I can So let's say I'm giving 76, and if I'm doing an echo of x, so it's showing 76. But you might think, won't this overwrite the value of my already created x variable? So to exit a bash shell, it's basically exit. For any shell, it's exit. So if I do an exit, it comes out. So now again, if I do an echo of my command, now it again shows 45. Why it shows 45? Because that particular x is equal to 76. I've set the variable x as 76 in the bash which I launched recently, but the variable x which was already available, which I already set, had the value as 45. So I did not make my x variable global when I first created it. Again, I did not make it global when I again created it inside another shell, so that each shells have their own values for x right now because they are local. So now how to make it global? So it's pretty simple. I already have a variable called x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this command export x. Right now, sorry, I don't know why I did ls, but export x, right now it made my x variable as global. So right now I'll do a $x over here. So you can see that my $x is 45 here. Now let me do bash and try it over here, and again it shows 45. Because I made my x variable global, it overread. So basically I made my x variable global. This made this particular variable's value the same in every single shell. So you can launch another shell over here, but still the value of x will remain the same because it is now a global variable with the same value throughout the entire system. Now I'm clearing it, sorry, I'm exiting it. So this is how you use export. One more way of using export is like this: export y equal to 67. So now this would have already become a global variable. So other examples I wanted to show are I've shown these 3 examples, and then I wanted to show set command. So I'll clear this. Now set, just I'll enter set, then you can see every single function, you can see every single variable which is set over here. So you can see columns 127, you can see every single value set over here. Mail, you can see the mails directory, you can see the old PW. This was the last time I used PW, and the last time when I used PW, this was it. So now let's try this once again. Let's do a new PWD, and now let me type in the set command. Now let's go up and check the old PWD. So now the value of old PWD should have been changed to the newly entered value which you just entered. Going up, I came to the top. So it's over here. Login, that should be here. These are columns, final list, and then there is GNOME home variable. Login name is IntelliPat home, and I'm not able to find the old. It's over here again. It's the previous one. I'm not able to find the variable. Okay, so that's fine. So set, another option of set is one more thing I wanted to show is, so you can see this. So this was one of the important commands you should know. So let's say you've done let's say alias, and not alias, or so you can see I've did exclamation and I typed in just PW. So it already recognized the PW means PWD, and it shows the latest execution of it. So let's see EC, which is echo. So it shows the execution of it. So if you have typed in a command which you don't want to type in completely again, or you don't want to search it in history and again type it, you can basically put exclamation and type in the first 2 letters of your command, and it will detect and show you the latest results of it. So this is one of the things. Then coming to set, let me type in set plus O, and now you can see all the operations over here. So set plus keyboard, set -0 monitor, set plus notify, and all of these. So basically I can do a set -0 and all export. So now if I do another, so now you can see it would have been changed to -O. So this particular option stopped this. So let me try. So to understand this better, the set command, so let's do this. So there is history over here. So let me type in history, and it shows the complete history with the history command. So let us try this. plus O history. So now let us do a plus O. So I think now it would have changed history. Where is it? History is plus O. Let's try history once again. So it's showing the complete set of everything. So now let us stop it once again. So basically it disables, but it does not stop it from working. So again, you can see history, the latest one. So this is, so now coming back to set, I think to understand set, you can check the manual page. So if you open it, it's not showing the exact command, but it's showing other things. So you can see bash, echo, enable, eval, execute, exit. It's showing all of the commands in this particular bash, but it's not considering set. Let me quit this. Now let us do a man for export. What exactly is export? So again, it's not showing that it is a default command. So now we've seen the export command and how to set a variable. Now let us see how to unset it. It's pretty simple. So now echo $x. So it has a variable. Then use the command unset and just type in x. So now let me run this again. So right now we don't have a variable. So this particular variable x does not have a value. So now I have unset that variable. So this is how you set it up. And there is one more command, env. So env is for setting environment variables. So if you type in env, you can see the complete environment variables, and you can see that username is IntelliPad, and then you can see user is IntelliPad again, and what else? So I wanted to show something relatable, so that's why I wanted to show this. And then there is the shell, because as I told you, the default shell here is bin bash. It is bash actually, so the location of bash is under bin, so that's why it is showing the shell over here. So this shows the environment variables. The set command basically shows the complete variables inside this virtual machine or this particular operating system. So the set command shows the entire variables of this complete operating system, but env just shows the environment variables of this particular operating system. So we've seen these commands, and let me meet you in the next session. Thank you.